All right, man. Darkglass in the house. End Stuff Music, March Madness. I'm in town here, Freddie DeMarco. We're doing a March Madness deal here. It's killing. And I'm real excited to show you the Darkglass Microtubes B7K Ultra. So this is a preamp, obviously with distortion. You just heard it. So here's our dry signal. This is what I'm doing with the pre. One of the things I love about these Darkglass pedals is that you have a blend switch. So you'll notice that the meat of the signal is still there. So when I have the blend dial, which is right here, I could drop that and I'm still getting the benefit of the EQ of this preamp, but the blend will bring in the distortion. It will add distortion to my dry signal, my fat, bassy signal, staying at unity gain, which means like on a mixing console, if you brought a fader up to 0, you're at unity gain. So I still have that much healthy signal in my dry bass tone, and I'm adding the distortion to it. Because if you try doing this with a guitar distortion pedal or something like that, the whole signal gets distorted and you lose the meat. So this is a great feature on this. And then I'm just gonna play and blend that in. So I want you to understand that. So here's the dry signal, then I'm gonna step on it and then bring in the blend, which is gonna bring in my distortion. And my distortion has the drive, which is how much distortion, and even a level for that. That was the blend all the way up. Now I can do things like drop the drive of this and just get a little bit of a clip. Because the cool thing about this one that I really like is this one's gain structure is a little bit more modern. So, you know, if a customer or somebody, let's say, is looking for a vintage type sound, I always turn the customer over to the Vintage Ultra. But if you want a little more of a modern sound and the type of distortion that'll saturate a bit more modern, I like moving the thought process over to the Microtubes and the B7K. Just to me, it has a bit different saturation, but the features are very much the same as the Vintage Ultra pedal. We do have the attack, which I can mess with the attack, and I could also mess with the grunt switch. So the attack is going to boost highs or delete highs. I also have the option of just keeping it flat. It's a three-way switch. The grunt is the same thing, but to the low end. I can either boost or delete the frequencies chosen. But I'm gonna go ahead now and dial in a tone with the blend and the drive down. So in this case, I don't want the distortion overcoming the sound. I just wanna have it more like sound like a tube amp with a little bit of grit. So here we are, dry. The harder I hit, the more gain's coming out. A lot of pedals in this class, what happens is I lose my dynamic range. The fuzz and distortion takes over. So I could set these to really just react like a real expensive tube American bass head. Let's talk a little bit about this grunt and the attack switch. So with the attack, I can actually, well, I'll just demo it. You'll hear the difference. So here's flat. Here's boosted. Or I could delete that frequency or lower it. In that case, I'm shelving that frequency. Boost, flat. Now the grunt's gonna do that to the low end. Check it out. I'm going to go to the low mids and just show the 3 different frequencies we're working with. I'm going to really boost the low mid so you can actually hear it exaggerated. So here, I'll just click through the 3 different frequency choices you have to play with. So I'm going to draw on kind of a warmer frequency there. And then when I go over to my high side, same thing. I'm going to boost the high mid so you can hear those exaggerated, which frequencies we're dealing with. Actually, I'm talking the low frequency, sorry. So I have a lot of control for my low mids there, high mids over here. Now I'm going to blend those mids where I want them in regards to boost and my treble and bass. I'll dial in a little more drive, and I'm going to go for a more exaggerated drive, but yet not too much. Notice I also have a master volume on this as well. If I bypass, I'm still getting, or for example, if I go there and I don't kick distortion on, I kick my bypass off, I'm getting the benefit of the EQ without the distortion. Distortion. Compared to the unaffected signal. Hey, thanks for joining me for the demo here on the Microtubes B7K Ultra by Darkglass.
Son of a bitch. I smacked my finger in that.
Oh, yeah.
It's fucking brutal.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're one guy doing the whole shit.
Yeah, a lot of expletives come out of my mouth.
Grips and gophers.
It's nuts.